Welcome to part 2 of this 3-part series. Let's begin the journey. The unshakable core. You've built something that cannot be shaken. Not a rigid structure that resists change, but a flexible core that bends without breaking. You've developed an inner stability that remains constant regardless of external turbulence. Like a tree with deep roots that can weather any storm while its branches sway with the wind, this is what you've become. This unshakable core isn't something you found outside yourself. You cultivated it within. Through every challenge you faced, every fear you moved through, every commitment you honored, you were building this foundation. And now, standing on this solid ground, you're ready for anything. First affirmation: your peace is your superpower. You've learned that peace isn't passivity, it's the most powerful state you can cultivate. From peace, you make wiser decisions. From peace, you access deeper creativity. From peace, you lead more effectively. From peace, you love more fully. You've stopped equating peace with complacency and started recognizing it as your greatest asset. You protect your peace fiercely. You remove yourself from chaos. You don't engage in drama. You don't absorb others' stress. You've created a sanctuary within yourself that no external circumstance can disturb. Your peace is non-negotiable. And this commitment has transformed your entire life experience. Second affirmation: your daily rituals create your destiny. You've understood that your destiny isn't determined by occasional grand gestures. It's shaped by daily rituals. What you do every morning, how you spend your evenings, the habits you maintain consistently. These seemingly small rituals compound over time into the trajectory of your entire life. You've designed rituals that serve your highest vision. Morning practices that set your intention. Evening routines that reflect and restore. Daily habits that move you toward your goals. You've made success inevitable through design, not dependent on motivation. Your rituals are the invisible architecture of your extraordinary life. Third affirmation: your authenticity repels and attracts perfectly. You've embraced that your authenticity will repel some people, and that's exactly as it should be. Not everyone is meant to be in your life. Not everyone will resonate with your truth. And when you show up authentically, you naturally filter, attracting aligned souls and repelling mismatched ones. You've stopped trying to be liked by everyone and started being yourself for the right ones. You've stopped dimming your light to make others comfortable. You shine fully, knowing that those who are meant for you will see your light and move toward it, while those who aren't will naturally move away. This is the gift of authenticity. Fourth affirmation: your intuition is your internal guidance system. You've learned to trust your intuition as your most reliable internal guidance system. That gut feeling that tells you yes or no before your mind finishes analyzing. That inner knowing that speaks quietly but clearly. That sense about people, situations, opportunities that your logical mind can't explain but your body knows. You've stopped overriding your intuition with logic that doesn't serve you. You've stopped dismissing your instincts. When your intuition speaks, you listen. When it warns, you heed. When it guides, you follow. This trust has led you away from wrong paths and toward right ones more times than you can count. Fifth affirmation: your wealth mindset precedes your wealth. You've understood that wealth is created first in consciousness, then in reality. Before you have the money, you must have the mindset. Before you achieve abundance, you must embody it. You've upgraded your relationship with money from scarcity to abundance, from fear to confidence, from limitation to possibility. You think like a wealthy person before becoming one. You value yourself appropriately. You invest in your growth. You make financial decisions from abundance, not desperation. You expect prosperity and prepare for it. And this shift in consciousness is magnetizing wealth to you naturally. Sixth affirmation, your vulnerability creates connection. You've discovered that vulnerability isn't about oversharing, it's about authentic sharing. When you show your real struggles, your genuine emotions, your actual journey, you create connection. When you admit uncertainty, you invite collaboration. When you share your humanity, you give others permission to share theirs. You've learned that people don't connect with your highlight reel, they connect with your behind the scenes. Your perfect facade attracted admirers. Your authentic vulnerability attracts genuine relationships. You've traded surface-level approval for deep connection, and it's the best trade you ever made. Seventh affirmation, your consistency outperforms your intensity. You've learned that showing up consistently beats showing up intensely. The person who works on their goals daily, even just for 30 minutes, will outperform the person who has occasional bursts of 10-hour workdays. Consistency compounds. Intensity burns out. You've chosen the sustainable path. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be persistent. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things repeatedly. Your power isn't in dramatic transformations. It's in small, steady improvements maintained over time. This is the compound effect in action. Eighth affirmation, your purpose is revealed through action. You've stopped waiting to discover your purpose and started living your way into it. Purpose isn't found through contemplation alone. It's revealed through action. You follow what interests you, notice what lights you up, pay attention to what gives you energy. Your purpose emerges from engagement, not from endless searching. You trust that each step, each experience, each interest is preparing you for what comes next. You don't need to see the whole path, you just need to take the next step. Ninth affirmation, your present moment is your point of power. You fully grasp that this moment, right now, is your only point of power. Not yesterday, which you can't change. Not tomorrow, which hasn't arrived. The only moment where you can think, choose, act, create. You've learned to be fully present in this moment because this moment is literally all you have. This presence isn't about ignoring the past or future. It's about recognizing that you can only affect them from now. You plan for the future now. You heal from the past now. You create your life now. Every transformation happens in the eternal now, and you've learned to harness its power. Settle into this knowing. You've become someone who doesn't just hope for change, you embody it. You don't just wish for growth, you live it. You don't just dream of transformation, you are it in every breath, every choice, every moment. The awakened potential. You're accessing layers of yourself that were dormant before. Capacities that were waiting. Strengths that were sleeping. This entire journey has been an awakening, not to something new, but to what was always there. You're not becoming capable. You're remembering that you always were. And in this remembering, there's a profound shift. The limitations you accepted as truth reveal themselves as stories. The ceilings you believed were real show themselves as illusions. The impossibilities you internalized transform into possibilities. You're awakening to your unlimited nature. First affirmation, your perspective is your power. You've mastered that two people can experience the same event and have completely different realities based solely on perspective. And you get to choose your perspective. You can see obstacles or opportunities, problems or puzzles, setbacks or lessons. Your perspective isn't just how you see, it's what you create. You've become intentional about the lens through which you view your life. You choose empowering perspectives over limiting ones. You ask better questions, not "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is this teaching me?" Not "What if I fail?" but "What if I succeed?" Your perspective is your superpower. Second affirmation, your alignment attracts your desires. You've learned that when you're in alignment with your truth, your desires move toward you. Not through force or hustle, but through magnetic attraction. When your actions match your values, when your life reflects your priorities, when your outer world mirrors your inner world, everything flows. You recognize misalignment by how it feels: forced, draining, off. You recognize alignment by its ease: energizing, flowing, right? You've stopped pushing against resistance and started following the path of alignment. And on this path, what's meant for you finds you effortlessly. Third affirmation, your recovery is part of your success strategy. You've integrated that recovery isn't time off from success, it's essential to it. The most successful people aren't those who work the most, they're those who work smart and recover well. Rest, reflection, restoration, these aren't luxuries or weaknesses. They're strategic components of sustainable high performance. You schedule recovery like you schedule work. You honor your body's need for rest. You create space for your mind to wander. You protect time for restoration. And this commitment to recovery has made you more productive, more creative, more effective than constant pushing ever did. Fourth affirmation, your standards create your circle. You've discovered that your standards automatically determine your circle. When you raise your standards, some people naturally fall away, not because you push them out, but because they don't match your new frequency. And simultaneously, new people appear who align with who you're becoming. You've stopped trying to drag people along on your journey. You've stopped lowering your standards to keep people comfortable. You maintain your standards and trust that the right people will rise with you or the right new people will appear. Your circle is a reflection of your standards. Fifth affirmation, your emotional intelligence is your edge. You've developed emotional intelligence as one of your greatest assets. You can identify what you're feeling. You can sit with discomfort without reacting. You can regulate your state consciously. You can empathize without absorbing. You can express without exploding. This mastery over your emotional world gives you an edge most people lack. Emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding and managing them skillfully. You feel fully, but you don't let feelings control you. You honor emotions as information while choosing your responses consciously. This skill has transformed your relationships, your leadership, your entire life. Sixth affirmation, your morning sets your momentum. You've learned that the first hour of your day determines the next 23. How you start creates momentum, positive or negative, that carries through everything that follows. You've claimed your mornings as sacred time for setting intention, aligning energy, and preparing yourself for whatever the day brings. Before checking messages, before responding to demands, before giving your energy to the world, you give it to yourself. You move your body, feed your mind, calm your spirit, set your intention. This morning practice isn't one more thing on your to-do list. It's the foundation that makes everything else work. 7th affirmation, your courage compounds over time. You've discovered that courage isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a muscle you build through use. Every time you act despite fear, you strengthen your courage muscle. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand it. Courage compounds. Each brave act makes the next one easier. You're not waiting to feel brave before acting brave. You act brave and the feeling follows. You've learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear. And you've been practicing this so consistently that what once terrified you now feels natural. 8th affirmation, your value is intrinsic, not earned. You've finally internalized that your value isn't determined by your productivity, achievements, or others' opinions. You're valuable simply because you exist. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. This intrinsic value doesn't fluctuate with circumstances. It's constant, unchanging, absolute. This knowing has freed you from the performance trap. You no longer tie your worth to your output. You can rest without guilt. You can fail without shame. You can exist without constantly proving yourself. Your value is inherent, and nothing can diminish it. 9th affirmation, your legacy is love in action. You've realized that your legacy isn't measured in achievements or possessions, it's measured in love. How you made people feel, the kindness you showed, the compassion you offered, the hearts you touched, the lives you elevated, the love you gave freely without keeping score. Legacy isn't what people say at your funeral, it's what they feel in your presence now. It's not the empire you build, it's the lives you enrich. It's not what you accumulate, it's what you contribute. And you're building a legacy of love, one interaction, one choice, one moment at a time. Rest in this truth. You're not just living, you're creating. You're not just existing, you're impacting. You're not just growing, you're transforming into the fullest expression of your potential, and that expression is a gift to everyone around you. The integrated self. You've reached a rare state of integration, where all parts of you are working together instead of against each other. Your mind, body, and spirit are aligned. Your conscious desires and subconscious beliefs are congruent. Your thoughts, words, and actions are consistent. This integration creates a power that fragmentation never could. When you're integrated, you're no longer at war with yourself. There's no internal conflict draining your energy. No self-sabotage undermining your progress. No contradiction between what you say you want and what you actually do. You've become whole, unified, powerful in your coherence. First affirmation, your environment shapes you, so you shape it. You've learned that you don't just exist in your environment, you're constantly being shaped by it. And since you can't avoid being influenced, you've become intentional about creating an environment that shapes you in the direction you want to grow. Your physical space, digital space, social circle, all designed deliberately. You've removed what drains you and added what energizes you. You've eliminated distractions and amplified inspiration. You've distanced from negativity and surrounded yourself with positivity. Your environment isn't accidental, it's engineered to support the person you're becoming. Second affirmation, your silence is more powerful than your words. You've discovered that knowing when to speak and when to be silent is a mark of wisdom. Not every thought needs voicing. Not every argument needs your participation. Not every provocation deserves your response. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. You've learned strategic silence. The silence that allows others to reveal themselves. The silence that creates space for deeper truth to emerge. The silence that protects your peace from unnecessary conflict. Your silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. It's choosing your battles and conserving your energy for what truly matters. Third affirmation, your gratitude transforms your experience. You've mastered using gratitude not just as an emotion but as a transformative practice. When you're grateful for challenges, they become growth opportunities. When you're grateful for what you have, you attract more to be grateful for. When you appreciate the journey, the destination becomes sweeter. You practice gratitude in difficult times, not just easy ones. You find things to appreciate even in pain. You thank the setbacks for their lessons. You celebrate the small wins along with the big ones. This practice has fundamentally shifted your experience of life from lack to abundance. Fourth affirmation, your discipline equals your freedom. You've understood the paradox that discipline creates freedom. The discipline to save money creates financial freedom. The discipline to practice your craft creates creative freedom. The discipline to maintain your health creates physical freedom. What looks like restriction is actually the path to liberation. You've stopped seeing discipline as punishment and started seeing it as self-love. Every discipline choice is a vote for your future self. Every time you choose what's right over what's easy, you're expanding your freedom. The temporary discomfort of discipline is far easier to bear than the permanent discomfort of regret. Fifth affirmation, your story is still being written. You've embraced that your story isn't over, you're still writing it. Yesterday's chapter doesn't determine today's. Last year's struggles don't define this year's possibilities. Your past is prologue, not prophecy. Every moment is a chance to write a new line, start a new chapter, change the trajectory entirely. You're not bound by your history. You're empowered by your choice. You can reinvent yourself anytime. You can pivot, transform, evolve. Your story is fluid, dynamic, alive. And you're holding the pen, writing boldly, courageously, authentically. Sixth affirmation, your presence heals. You've learned that your grounded, peaceful presence has a healing effect on others. When you're centered, you help others find their center. When you're calm, you help others access calm. When you're present, you give others permission to be present. Your state affects everyone around you. This isn't about fixing or saving anyone. It's about being so solid in yourself that your presence creates space for others to find their own ground. You've become someone people seek out when life feels chaotic because your energy helps them remember their own peace. Seventh affirmation, your investments reveal your values. You've realized that where you invest your time, energy, and money reveals what you truly value. Not what you say you value, but what you actually value. Your calendar, your bank statements, your daily choices, these tell the truth about your priorities. And you've aligned your investments with your stated values. You invest in what matters: your growth, your health, your relationships, your purpose. You've stopped wasting resources on what doesn't serve you. Your investments, of every kind, now reflect and support the life you're intentionally creating. This alignment creates integrity between who you say you are and who you actually are. 8th affirmation, your boundaries teach others how to treat you. You've learned that boundaries aren't about controlling others, they're about teaching them how to treat you. Every time you allow behavior that doesn't respect you, you teach that it's acceptable. Every time you enforce a boundary, you communicate your worth. Your boundaries are your self-respect made visible. You set boundaries clearly and hold them firmly. You don't apologize for having needs. You don't feel guilty for protecting your peace. You've learned that people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and those who don't weren't meant to stay in your life anyway. The pinnacle of awareness. You're standing at a pinnacle of awareness now. A vantage point where you can see clearly who you were, who you are, who you're becoming. And from this height, you recognize that the journey itself has been the destination. Every step, every stumble, every triumph, all of it necessary, all of it perfect, all of it leading you here. This awareness brings profound peace. Not the peace of having arrived, but the peace of trusting the process. Not the peace of having all the answers, but the peace of being comfortable with the questions. Not the peace of perfection, but the peace of wholeness. 1st affirmation, your energy management determines your success. You've learned that managing your energy is more critical than managing your time. You can have all the time in the world, but without energy, it's meaningless. You've become strategic about what energizes you versus what depletes you, and you design your life accordingly. You protect your peak energy hours for your most important work. You schedule demanding tasks when you're strongest. You plan recovery when you need it most. You say no to energy vampires, whether they're people, activities, or thoughts. Your success isn't about doing more, it's about being energized for what matters most. 2nd affirmation, your adversity is your advantage. You've reframed every piece of adversity as your secret advantage. The struggles that shaped your resilience. The failures that taught you lessons. The rejections that redirected you to better paths. What looked like disadvantages were actually your greatest teachers, preparing you for this moment. You don't hide your struggles. You honor them as the crucibles that forged your strength. You don't downplay your challenges. You recognize them as the training ground for your capabilities. Your adversity isn't something to overcome and forget. It's something to integrate and leverage. 3rd affirmation, your relationships mirror your relationship with yourself. You've discovered that the quality of your relationships reflects the quality of your relationship with yourself. When you don't respect yourself, you attract people who don't respect you. When you love yourself, you attract love. When you value yourself, others value you. It all starts with how you treat yourself. You've stopped looking for validation externally and started cultivating it internally. You've stopped seeking completion in others and started becoming complete within yourself. And paradoxically, this self-sufficiency has made your relationships deeper, healthier, more authentic. 4th affirmation, your clarity creates your path. You've learned that clarity about what you want creates the path to get it. Not perfect clarity, just clear enough to take the next step. When you know where you're going, the how reveals itself. When your vision is vivid, opportunities appear that match it. Clarity cuts through confusion and creates direction. You've stopped waiting for complete certainty before starting. You've gotten clear on your direction and started moving, trusting that the path will become clearer with each step. Your clarity isn't fixed, it evolves as you grow. but it's always clear enough for the next right action. Fifth affirmation, your worthiness isn't negotiable. You've finally, deeply, completely accepted that your worthiness is not up for debate. It's not something you earn through achievement. It's not something you prove through perfection. It's not something others grant through approval. It's intrinsic, unchanging, absolute. You are worthy because you exist. This acceptance has liberated you from the exhausting performance of trying to be enough. You already are enough. You always have been. You always will be. And from this foundation of worthiness, everything you create is an expression of abundance, not a desperate attempt to prove yourself. Sixth affirmation, your habits determine your destiny. You've mastered that your daily habits, not your occasional efforts, create your destiny. What you do once is an event. What you do daily is who you become. You've designed habits that automatically move you toward your vision, making success inevitable through repetition. You don't rely on motivation, you rely on systems. You don't wait for inspiration, you have rituals. Your good choices aren't occasional, they're habitual. And through this accumulation of positive daily habits, you're creating a life that most people only dream about. Seventh affirmation, your purpose emerges through service. You've learned that purpose isn't found in contemplation alone. It emerges through service. When you ask, "How can I help?" instead of, "What's my purpose?" the answer reveals itself. When you focus on contribution instead of significance, meaning finds you. Your purpose is less about you and more about what you give. You've stopped the endless search for purpose and started living purposefully. You show up to serve. You look for problems you can solve. You notice needs you can meet. And in this orientation toward service, you've found the meaning you were searching for. Eighth affirmation, your authenticity attracts abundance. You've discovered that the more authentically you show up, the more abundance flows to you. Not because being fake blocks abundance, but because authenticity is magnetic. When you're genuinely yourself, you attract opportunities, people, and resources that actually fit. Pretending attracts mismatched things. You've stopped contorting yourself to fit opportunities and started being yourself so the right opportunities find you. You've stopped performing to be accepted and started showing up real so you attract genuine connections. Your authenticity is your abundance magnet. The sacred completion. You've arrived at a sacred completion. Not an ending, but a threshold. You stand here transformed, carrying the wisdom of 300 affirmations, the truth of countless insights, the integration of a profound journey. You are not who you were when you began. You could never be again. This final segment isn't about learning more. You've learned enough. It's about claiming everything you've become. It's about sealing these truths so deeply into your being that they become inseparable from who you are. It's about stepping forward into your life, empowered, awakened, and ready. First affirmation, you are the author of your life. You've claimed your role as the author of your life story. Not a character in someone else's narrative. Not a victim of circumstances. Not a passenger on a journey someone else is driving. You hold the pen. You write the chapters. You decide the plot. You create the meaning. Every choice you make is a sentence. Every day is a page. Every year is a chapter. And you're writing intentionally now, consciously, powerfully. You're creating a story you're proud to live, one that reflects your values, honors your truth, and expresses your highest vision. Second affirmation, you are worthy of everything you desire. You've finally accepted, without qualification, that you are worthy of everything you desire. Not because you've earned it through suffering or achievement. Not because you've proven yourself worthy. Simply because you exist. Your worthiness is inherent, complete, unquestionable. You deserve love. You deserve abundance. You deserve joy. You deserve success. You deserve peace. You deserve fulfillment. Not someday when you're better. Not eventually when you're different. Exactly as you are. Your worthiness is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Third affirmation, you are capable of extraordinary things. You've recognized that you are capable of far more than you've allowed yourself to imagine. Every ceiling you've hit was self-imposed. Every limitation was a belief, not a fact. You are capable of creating, achieving, becoming anything you commit to with sufficient focus, time, and effort. This isn't naive optimism, it's earned confidence. You've proven your capability repeatedly. Every challenge you've overcome is evidence. Every goal you've achieved is proof. Every fear you've faced is testimony. You are capable, and your capability expands with every brave choice you make. Fourth affirmation, you are growing infinitely. You've embraced that your growth has no endpoint. There's no finish line where you become complete. There's no achievement that finalizes you. You are perpetually evolving, eternally expanding, infinitely becoming. And this isn't a burden, it's your birthright and your joy. You celebrate each level while reaching for the next. You honor who you are while being excited about who you're becoming. You're proud of your progress while remaining hungry for growth. Your evolution is eternal, and you've learned to find fulfillment in the journey itself. Fifth affirmation, you are making an impact. You've realized that your impact extends far beyond what you can see or measure. Every kind word, every authentic moment, every brave choice creates ripples you'll never fully witness. Your life touches lives in ways you'll never know. Your presence makes a difference simply by being genuine, kind, and courageous. You don't need to see the full extent of your influence to trust it. You don't need recognition to know you matter. You show up with integrity, lead with love, act with purpose, and trust that the impact will ripple out in ways both seen and unseen. Sixth affirmation, you are living your legacy. You understand that your legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you're living right now. Every interaction, every choice, every moment of character, this is your legacy in action. You're not waiting until later in life to think about impact. You're creating it now, today, in this moment. Your legacy is how you make people feel, the values you embody, the example you set, the love you share, the truth you speak, the courage you demonstrate. It's being written in real time through how you show up, and you're being intentional about making it beautiful. Seventh affirmation, you are exactly where you need to be. You've released the anxiety of being behind and embraced that you're exactly where you need to be. Your timing is perfect for your journey. Your path is unfolding at precisely the right pace. You're not behind, you're on schedule for your destiny, even if it doesn't match someone else's timeline. You trust the timing of your life. What's meant for you won't pass you by. What passed you by wasn't meant for you. Every delay had a purpose. Every detour had a reason. You're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you need to become. Eighth affirmation, you are ready for what comes next. You are ready. Ready for the opportunities that are coming. Ready for the challenges that will stretch you. Ready for the success you've been preparing for. Ready for the relationships that will elevate you. Ready for the next level of your life. You've done the work. You've faced the fears. You've learned the lessons. You've built the foundation. You've cultivated the mindset. You've developed the skills. Everything you've been through has prepared you for everything that's coming. You are ready, and the world is ready for you. Ninth affirmation: you are becoming your highest self. You've committed to the lifelong journey of becoming your highest self. Not the self others want you to be. Not the self you think you should be. But the truest, most authentic, most powerful expression of who you actually are. This is your purpose, to become fully yourself and let that self shine. You're shedding what's not you. You're releasing who you pretended to be. You're letting go of masks, facades, and performances. You're revealing the real you, powerful, authentic, magnificent. And you're committed to this becoming for the rest of your life. Closing, the beginning. Take one final, sacred breath. Feel the fullness of this moment. You've traveled through 300 affirmations, absorbed 300 truths, transformed in 300 ways. But this isn't the end of your journey, it's the true beginning. This concludes part 2 of our Sleep and Succeed 3-part series.